Time now for Reporters Roundtable to put the headlines in perspective. I am Mitra is back from the Texas Tribune in Austin. Bud Kennedy is here every week from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, and Bernadine Steptoe is the political producer at WFAA in Dallas. Let's start with you. Texas Republicans condemning, of course, Russia's invasion of Ukraine last week, but they were also pretty critical of President Biden's response. Who was saying what? I mean, largely the criticism was primarily directed at Putin but there is, criticism of Biden, and their feeling is that he did not show enough strength. And, I think, as this continues to develop, I think more of the diplomatic efforts that Biden and the administration did will kind of counter that some, but that's not going to stop Republicans from questioning how, the administration acted and why we're at where we're at now. Yeah, not at all in a midterm year. But I guess the question is it more important for voters, for conservative voters, to bash Biden or criticize Putin?
Well, I think most of the members of Congress directed their comments at Putin, which is appropriate. Then you have people like Allen West who used the opportunity to complain about how weak the president was. And if he were strong like the last president, we wouldn't have this problem. If you're on the campaign trail, you only bash Joe Biden. You don't get off into confusing people by talking about Putin.
That's a good point, Bernadine.
Yes, and it appears as if that's what some of the Republicans are doing. Not all Republicans, because keep in mind that Senator Cornyn did not blame Biden for what we're doing, but the Republicans see an advantage by bashing Biden in the upcoming elections. So that is what they're doing.
And that's what we'll likely...
Which is not a good idea if we're going to war.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unity is something that other countries do look at. And let's talk about the Tuesday primary. We are 48 hours away. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, 7:01, when returns start coming in. Which races are you going to be watching?
Well, you got to start at the top of the ballot. I mean, Greg Abbott in the Republican primary and Ken Paxton are facing, each has a set of challengers, and really, can these challengers break through and get to at least a runoff? That's kind of the main thing to watch. It seems like Abbott and Paxton are both pulling pretty strongly, so we'll see if they can make it and avoid a May runoff.
Yeah, of course, Bud. The one we're really watching is the one Ian's talking about, the Republican race for Texas Attorney General. Polls show Paxton below 50%, which means he would go into runoff. The question is, with which candidate?
Yeah, you look at the money now is not being spent in a lot of the races because people consider this like the prelims. They're going to wait and spend money in the runoffs. The place you see ads are where somebody's either trying to get over 50% or trying to get to 50% and force a runoff. You're looking at George P. Bush now probably bumping up a little bit, the one trying to force Paxton into a runoff. Will Sid Miller being a runoff. And over on the Democratic side, will Mike Collier being a runoff. Those are some of the races.
Yeah, a number of them. Bernadine, what are you watching for Tuesday night?
I'm really interested in George P. Bush. I'd like to know if Republican voters are interested in having another Bush on the ballot and voting for him. So that's my race that I'm watching. I want to see where Bush places in either runoff or no runoff. But it's just really interesting to me. And also the Sid Miller race is interesting for the agricultural commissioner. Yep. To see if they actually push him into a runoff.
Bud, do you think Sid Miller's going into a runoff, though? I mean, he was polling way above 50% when I saw the polls.
If you notice, he was, and he's an incumbent. The incumbents are doing extremely well. He's popular among the base in a small turnout election like this, but he hasn't really had support from the other Republicans on the ticket. He's probably over 50, but it just depends who votes. Yeah. We're talking about a 10% turnout, 10, 11% turnout.
Yeah, exactly what I mentioned earlier. Good deal, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.